Hi,
Howdy!
everybody. How's it going? Yes, we're live now. In case you didn't know, in case you're just flip-flopping about the internet and don't know what you clicked on, this is the Movie Club Strikes Back Hangout we do every Saturday. Um, Basically, we're a group of people who really, really like films, and we decided to come together and talk about films. Who have we got today?
I'm Chris. You can find me at Easy Chair Reviews on YouTube, where I do mainly reviews for Movie Club Strikes Back.
Hi, I'm Alan. I'm Mr. Harry Brit. I do 4 videos each and every week, 2 funny news, 1 movie review, 1 ranty kind of vloggy thing if I'm not hopping around the screen, and I haul myself on every social media that pretty much exists by man and 2 Martians.
My name is Backtorn. You can find me at youtube.com/Backtorn. I talk crap about movies, anime. I sometimes put up video games type things on my channel. And if I'm not doing that, then I'm looking for your movies to put them in the playlist for Movie Club Strikes Back. Next.
Hi, I'm Jenny. I am at Took It Home to Jenny on the YouTube, Took It Home to Jen on the Twitters. And I mostly do YouTube videos where I talk about movies with these crazy, wonderful people, and occasionally talk about anime when I have the chance to actually watch an anime series. And for the rest of the time, I do random uploads or whatever I think about uploading. I just uploaded a video of random clips from Venice. So there we go.
Liam, or Cervix, no matter, you can call me whatever you like. On here, I am Servatorix online everywhere. I used to do movie reviews, but that was 2 weeks ago, sorry. Yeah, I'll be getting back to that, but for now, I am moderating this hangout. And basically, in case you couldn't tell from the title of the video you just clicked on, this is a hangout about trailers, and because what is a movie without trailers? A very badly publicized one. So yeah, basically the reason why I decided to choose this as a topic is because the film called John Wick is coming out soon, starring Keanu Reeves, and I saw the trailer and it was the most ridiculous, tropic action movie trailer I've ever seen, and it made me happy in my heart. So I decided we should talk about it. And yeah, I've got a couple of questions here to ask everyone behind the scenes, but now I've just outed that in front of everyone. What is your favorite genre of trailer, people?
Myself, I guess with trailer, less is more in terms of trailers. Sometimes when big trailers are basically teasers, not meant to tell you the whole thing about the movie itself. So whatever, like the key points of the movie, something to sink you in. If I understand the question correctly.
Mm-hmm. Basically, the question is like, is there like a specific genre of film that you prefer the trailers for? Like, do you like a trailer for an action film over a romantic film?
Oh,
You know.
yeah, more sci-fi and action, especially if the trailer has like lots of explosions and high-paced action, as opposed to other stuff.
Other stuff.
Yeah.
Alan, what are your thoughts?
I'm a fan of the family comedy genre. I mean, Michael Bay does them amazingly well, which is a phrase you will never hear many people ever mutter in context with anything else. Michael Bay knows the audience he represents, and the good example is he won me over with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trailer, even though I've not seen the film, and even though I am an 80s kid and I was horrified by the idea of his twist on a TMNT film, but it's got the fan service, it's got the pace, it's got an element of action, and then the wink of humour. And he did the same with Transformers, and well, multiple times for that matter. He does it very well, and as long as you mix the fan service, for my opinion, in without giving away the film too much, like Pirates of the Caribbean does as well, it kind of grabs you enough that you want to see it. Guardians of the Galaxy, another film that I would love to see, but haven't seen. Avengers did it well as well. Once again, it's not specifically a genre, it's fan service plus hook.
Yeah, I mean, and on the plus side, he did do that 180 with regard to the turtles being aliens and they're actual mutants and whatnot. So fortunately, he did do a 180 on that.
What do you think? That's because everyone just went, "No, Michael, no."
Yeah.
No.
I think it was pretty much this kind of motion to Michael Bay.
Wait, did they keep the whole alien idea, or did they go back on it?
No, I thought originally that it was going to be called Ninja Turtles because they were taking out the teenage and the mutant. Now it's called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I haven't seen it myself, but I heard he did do a 180, and they're not aliens anymore, and they are teenagers. That's what I heard. So.
In the trailer, the trailer that aired in the UK, which was it's about 1 minute 20. They're doing a load of surfing down snow and stuff, and then what I assume is going to be April O'Neil gets onto a rooftop. The turtles are celebrating. She goes, "Are you aliens?" And one just goes, "No, we're turtles." And that's the entirety of the only time they mention it in the trailer. It's like, don't touch it.
Exactly.
So we'll see. But you know, I like to acquire films that don't necessarily come out here soon enough. So, yeah, we'll see.
How do you do that?
By positive thinking and hoping that In Between Us 2 will appear on my TV before it arrives on DVD.
I'm Scottish, we don't know what positive thinking is.
Well, 45% of you was fairly positive. Anyway!
Jenny will get away from this with your lovely thoughts on this matter, I'm assuming.
Okay. Well, I slightly misunderstood the question, so my brain was ticking over a couple of thoughts, and then I've worked out what the question was. So my favourite genre of film for trailers is it has to be a really visual film, because if you're trying to do a trailer for like a psychological thriller or one of those low-budget dramas, like it's very hard to actually, you're not going to be able to cry at the end of the trailer, because like if it's the sort of drama that makes you cry by 2 hours in, then it's not going to be the type of drama that makes you cry at the end of the trailer. You're not going to have the same level of emotional resonance. But one that's visually entertaining, either through incredible, beautiful visuals, or through action, or through breasts, as may be, that can, make a trailer more interesting. Although, in terms of the genre, action, sci-fi, the ones that are visually stunning, where you're like, ooh, that looks amazing. Like that would be the genre of film that I was looking at. When I misunderstood the question, I was thinking along the lines of teaser trailers versus full-length trailers versus clip trailers, which are definitely my least favorite. Clip trailers just annoy me, where they, show a minute or 2 minutes of a sequence, and you're like, no, I don't need to see this. This is a waste of time and effort. Like the Charlie's Angels teaser trailer, which was, yes, that's right, Charlie's Angels, fight me, where it's like a clip from the first 5 minutes, and you're like, no, what? No. This is just so you can get the money, you can budget that sequence.
Didn't they do the same thing with How to Train Your Dragon 2?
I can't prove that, but I wouldn't be surprised, because it means they get more budget for the trailer if they do. They get advertising money if they then do a clip from the film as their trailer. So then that means that when they're doing the film sequence, they have advertising money as well as normal money. And I may or may not have watched the commentary for Charlie's Angels 2 last night while falling asleep.
That shows exactly how entertaining it was if you were sleeping during it.
Yes, it was my sleepy time movie. I was like, I can't sleep. Charlie's Angels 2 commentary. 10 minutes in.
Yeah, Lucy Lou does that to me after about 2.5 minutes as well.
Oh dear.
Just
I
don't get
like
it.
how that slowly dawned on people. It was great.
I still don't get it. Like, no, I'm the moderator. I can't condone this foolishness.
Thank you,
Chris,
Liam.
I matured just there. That's what that was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Chris, do you have any thoughts on the? What's your favorite film? Chris?
Hello?
Hello?
He's pulling a great Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Eric.
Chris.
Who's doing that to me? Yeah, who's messing with the internet right now? No, as I was saying, with the genre of the films, it's the ones that make the best.
No.
Blame Canada. Blame Canada.
None of
We
the
don't even have any
Canadians-
Canadians here.
Exactly.
They're all hanging out with Phil.
It's just in they're getting all of those followers that is causing this problem.
It's true. Should we come back to him? Do you think?
Is
Well,
Chris frozen, I think?
What about you guys? Do you have any thoughts about, in terms of my brain taking up the question that we just had, do you have any thoughts about like different types of actual trailer formats?
Well, I
I'll be
mean,
interested to see what you guys think.
yeah, I mean, definitely what you were saying about, like, with the tearjerkers, you don't want to have the big tear-jerking moment in the trailer, ultimately defeating the purpose of watching the movie. And just, I mean, I'm also like trying to save a rant for the "What are your movie trailer pet peeves" question, so because it kind of ties into that.
So I'd still say that I would hazard to say that, subject to the genre of film, that most film genres, in my opinion, should have liberal sprinklings but not vast scenes within. So, no one's, positively touched anywhere near the 50 Shades of Grey trailer. There you go, Meta. So there's within that, there's once again there's fan service, but there's clips of scenes, and it still refers. And if you've not read the books, then if you are of the right demographic, a trailer should grab your audience without needing to have read a book. Harry Potter did that amazingly well, because after the first film, if you hadn't read the books, you still was invested in the growth and the character direction. And by the last two films, you was very interested in Emma Watson. So you've collected interest, but they've teased enough that once again the family film trailer genre there, a little bit of action, a little bit of fun, maybe a little bit of danger that you worry about the main characters in, and in general, if the trailer doesn't grab you, there's no point of it being a trailer unless you are solely at a cult demographic. Like if they was to make Firefly 2,
Sure.
the only people who are going to watch Firefly 2 are Whedonites.
That's like teasing Half-Life 3, Alan. It's just not fair.
Yeah.
It's just
I
not
would
fair.
never tease a halfie of anything, Jenny. I apologise.
Jenny said Half-Life 3
Oh.
trailer. Maybe Club Hangout. Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Also, I was just thinking about in terms of like comedy or just the comedy genre. Of course, you don't want to have the big funny moments in there. You want like some of the mid level, I guess, you can say funny moments. Maybe throw some of the story in there, but not like yeah, and just we want to sink them in and then have, because I think that's been a big disappointment for myself in terms of comedies, is watching trailers. They always they give the most funny moments to get you into the movie, and then the rest of the hour and a half is blah.
Yeah. There's, but is that their hook in cinema trailers and TV trailers over teasing? I mean, cinema trailers nowadays, for a good cinema trailer, you're looking at a minute and a half, 2 minutes. A TV trailer, similar, but there used to be the good old-fashioned prick tease, which was, here's 15 seconds, and you are lucky if here's a mask of Batman, or here's Bat Affleck's face, or here's a wheel from the Batmobile, or once again, it's hoping that people know the genre enough to freak out.
So essentially, what goes on at Comic-Con is what you're talking about.
Yeah, and they do it with game trailers, or Doctor Who, BBC. There is literally adverts between the adverts in the UK within the channel ident, in which we're losing people.
Oh gosh.
The channel
Like
ident.
a moderator.
You get like hippos swimming around a BBC logo, in which then it cuts in and out like an NWO video. If you don't get that reference, you're not referencing.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that reference means.
Basically fades in and out, and there's, say, the Doctor or the TARDIS, and it's subliminal teasing that lasts 2 seconds, but it reminds you, Doctor Who's today. You know, the prick tease method
Just
versus
like,
the hook.
with Doctor Who, they can make trailers out of just the TARDIS noise.
Yeah.
Like just the. It's amazing. Like that is such a iconic noise that when you have an audience that you know are going to relate to something, teasing something that is so iconic, even if it's so it's well known by those who know it. So just teasing that little tiny thing, yes, it's amazing. I love it when they do that, because you're like, you get that. You're hoping for it, and then you get it, you're like, oh!
That's the good. We don't get interrupted adverts within the BBC. I'm not sure if you get BBC America with adverts in between. I don't know if they break Doctor Who into 15-minute segments. But
oh god, that would be horrendous.
That'd drive me mental. But so the closest thing we ever get to an advert on the BBC is when they self-promote in between shows, because there's no monetary adverts in between, but there is product placement in things, except for, I guess, there can't be product placement that much in Doctor Who.
I mean, that structure, like you were saying, that 15 minutes, kind of drives me nuts with some animes. Like, we'll be watching an anime, and then halfway through, they'll basically do that little teaser thing saying that this is the anime you're watching, and it's like, yeah, I know I'm watching Kill la Kill. I don't need a 30-second advertisement during Kill la Kill to know I'm watching it. Or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood did that a lot too.
See, we're very lucky in the UK to have the BBC, but on return you do have to bear in mind that the BBC is so powerful because of the position it's in. If we stopped funding the BBC, as the reason why America gets the BBC, granted you also have to pay for it, and the reason why you get things like Doctor Who is because the United Kingdom as a whole not only pay for a television license that goes to the BBC and then split between other broadcasters, but then we also pay for the cable. So we're stung twice. And you can't avoid it. It's actually a penalty not to have a TV license. So it's like, so yeah. But those are the kind of prick tease trailers that we get within the BBC.
I have just got to give a quick shout out to Meta of Meta Medicine, who is in the comments sending us hangover love, which I assume is why she's not here partying with us. But she is sending us love via the YouTube comments. Wow, I've only had this much rum, and apparently that's affecting my brain.
We have talked about 50 Shades of Grey, Meta. Just to let you know.
Yes, we have talked about 50 Shades of Grey. We need to come up with something to do with George Clooney pronto in order to represent Kiwi.
George Clooney was a better Bruce Wayne than a Batman.
Bullshit.
He's also bringing out a film that's 27 Shades of Cucumber.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about making
parodying 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades of Greying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think we've covered all our bases. Now all I need to do is talk about Austin, and we're good to go.
Also, Courtney's not here. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is a good show.
Yes, it is.
And
the trailers for that were weird.
Buffy always used to have decent trailers.
Eliza douche doing leather.
The serial concept of, next week is, or the old Sky One trailers in the UK, where it would be, here's something happens to Willow. Alan, make sure you watch this because she may be in a corset and be evil. That got me, especially as a kid.
To move on from Alan,
every generation is
Chris, do you want to finish your thoughts on what your favourite genre of trailer is?
No, I don't have to roll back on that. We'll just keep going forward.
Sure. Okay, we'll move on to the next question then I have on board here. What are your favourite trailer tropes? What things are very common amongst certain types of trailers that you just love to hate or just love?
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
Yeah. The firstly, the based on a true story trope, which in films is weird and tropish enough, but in trailers you're like, yeah, you're really pushing this one, aren't you? Where it's usually at the beginning or the end, where it's right at the beginning it's the monologue moment, or it's at the end where it's based on a true story, and they have a BBC voice who does it all, like Marks and Spencer's Food. Gosh, I'm turning to Alan. Or they do a joke after the mini credits sort of thing. So they have they have the main trailer, and then they have the little end stamp where they have actors starring, whatever. And then they have a what?
The Marvel moment, which is you never leave until you've seen the entire.
You never leave until the trailers are done. All of the trailers. Yeah, but in a lot of trailers, they have that moment where they have the little stamp, and then they have a last joke and a last leave the trailer on a happy note sort of thing. And I like that because it usually is one of the best laughs of the trailer, which in the case of bad movie trailers is usually the best laugh of the film. And then you watch the film and you're disappointed. But in a trailer, I find it entertaining.
Look at that. So, what other common things are with is that just based on true story trailers, or is that
the end joke?
Yeah, would you say, or would that be both?
They're two separate tropes. You can have both of them in one trailer, or both of them in one in each sort of thing.
Gosh,
I watch a lot of trailers. I'm subscribed to a trailer channel, so I get a lot of trailers.
You can have more than one trope in one trailer?
I know, crazy. You can have more than one trope in a film.
No.
You can have the damsel in distress and the guy with the sword. What?
No. Does anyone else have any thoughts? Because I'm just descending into madness here.
I'm sending into drunkenness. All fair.
I tend to find that it's a cyclical thing. I expect to find that for most people that are now watching within the northern hemisphere, it's now becoming Halloween and dark and cold. Right, I'm aware that Halloween is universal no matter where on the calendar, but it's in the UK around about now we start to get our horror films and our psychological scare movies. In October is your hack and slash, or it used to be your Saws, Saw, Hostel, and then it used to be Nightmare on Elm Street and things like that, or Scream, always released around this time. So you get your jumpy trailers at the moment, but that's been replaced recently by the whole found footage genre. So we've now got things like very similar kind of
one that's just come out, which is about like a mockumentary about looking at haunted houses, which is going to come out late October, which I watched the trailer for, which is creepy.
Well, that's it. You get your slashers now, and then December you get your Blair Witchy kind of stuff. Because Christmas is over, and you look into the what I call the dead weeks of the festive season, because from Christmas to New Year you've got 6-7 days, which frankly, if we're honest, unless you're working, they do nothing. They're bullshit days that there's nothing to them. And then January is a fairly murky month of maybe mist or bad weather, and you kind of have to stay in. So they like to pump you with psychological scary films, and that's where as I said, the Blair Witch ones came from, Paranormal Activity. Paranormal Activity also shows up at the start of summer because screaming school kids. But yeah, I think the jump helps grab some people in. Philip DeFranco did it the other year. It happened to be a tyre advert in which a car's driving in the snow, and then out of the blue there's a kid's face. Right? If you haven't seen it, it's fucking, I think it's a Volvo advert or something, and it's memorable, even if you don't necessarily remember the product, but the concept grabs you, and I think that's clever.
What I know, Chris, you've got a point to make in a second, but on the whole time of the year thing, at least I dropped out and came back, and that's at least what I think you guys were talking about. What time of year was the Purge released? Do you know?
That was
Wasn't that late summer?
One. The recent one, which is Purge, the Purge Anarchy or Purge.
Yeah.
Purge Anarchy. That was end of spring. So therefore, that's, if you think leading into the start of the 6 weeks holiday kind of ish. So you've got all the kids.
Yeah.
And they pander to that accordingly. But yeah, those are the kind of, there's always the slashers, as I said, in October, the who did it or how did it in spring, and then the psychological headfucks like Paranormal Activity and Blair Witch come the winter.
Yeah.
Because they don't tread on each other's toes, and people get fed up of a certain genre, so they move it on. So in October, you got fed up with Hostel and Saw, and then they've prepped in your head some disgusting thoughts for you to be scared about without seeing it in December. Because if you hear that weird noise, and you've just seen that in theory if you go to Czechoslovakia they'll drill through your knee, you might think of it. It's very cleverly planned, or it used to be. I don't tend to track horror films that much anymore.
Yeah, I think it's crazy. That whole thing, like the time of year and what goes on at that time of year thing still. Chris, do you have any thoughts on this you want to share?
Yeah, everybody hold your breath for a second. The internet holds. Uh, on tropes, what I like, as far as the trailers go, is that when they are a little more self-aware or they kind of break the fourth wall, they realize it's a sales pitch and they kind of poke fun at themselves for that. And the one that really kind of sticks out in my mind is, I don't remember how many of you remember seeing this one, but for Austin Powers 2, they had this trailer where, and as a bit of context, that came out the same year as The Phantom Menace. So they started off, and it looked like it was going to be a Star Wars trailer, and they kind of built that in. But then, surprise, it's Austin Powers, and the tagline at the end of it was, if you see one movie this summer, see Star Wars. But if you see two, see Austin Powers. And, to me, that was clever, it was funny, and, it was self-aware. So I like the fact that they could do that.
Yeah, when they are relevant to what's going on in the world, like that definitely helps, at least in terms of marketing, helps get films more awareness. Like the, I can't remember what its name was, but the film with some actors going to North Korea and trying to assassinate someone. It was a weird film, and it got the actors banned from North Korea.
Yeah, didn't they get North Korea declaring war at some point, or again declaring war again?
Like, I don't think it did very well in the box office, but the fact that they were going to go with very dramatic marketing in order to get people into the theatres.
Seth
Rogen and Franco, was it?
Yeah. Then again on that topic, what's his name was wanting to go to war with us because of a YouTube video also. So
yeah.
It's fun. When he wants to whip out his gift and figure out how to use it, then I'll be scared.
As would I, Alan.
I already know how to use it, darling. Anyway!
Yes. I don't think, has there been any other trailers like that since that? Chris, do you think?
Nothing that dramatic, I don't think. But anytime, a movie kind of, again, is a little more self-aware and they break that fourth wall and they say, look, we're pitching a movie to you. Again, that's a credit to the advertising.
Well, Austin Powers was very good at that, and I think that's a Mike Myers edge and hook. I mean, he did the whole dancing thing at the start of at least two of the Austin Powers movies, which they released as trailers. And then there are also trailers that lead into the start of the film. Stupid, grand swimming things and non-penis shots and just stupidly grandiose things. But he's very good at touching that. Can't finish that sentence without thinking Jimmy Savile. Touching his fans through the screen, and he does it with Shrek as well. I think some people know how to write trailers rather than movie directors clipping their best bits. It's the ones that are actually made as trailers specifically that I engage with better. But then
hello.
Oh my god.
Gosh, the internet is truly broken tonight.
Yeah.
Bye, Mia Rally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the things Alan was getting towards, which is really interesting, is the fact that there are actually kind of two methods of making trailers, and one that's the studio or the guys who are responsible for the movie make the trailers, or the second piece is they actually farm it out to like an ad agency and they put together a trailer, and sometimes you can really tell, particularly in those trailers where they sell the movie differently. I mean, we've all seen them where we see a trailer for a movie and it looks really good, and then we go see the movie and it's like, that is completely different than what I was expecting, and I think that's the case.
Has there been a case where you think the trailer has been different from the film in a way that is better? That's addressed to any of you.
The Phantom Menace, maybe. I mean, that was a really good trailer. But it's tough to go back and watch that one without knowing everything about the movie and that kind of seeping into your consciousness. I mean, they had some really good promotion for that movie. And looking back on the quality of movie it was, it's kind of tough to see how.
One that I can think of is Your Highness, where the trailer was fantastic. It was hilarious. It had like everything you want in a really entertaining trailer, where it was funny and you got the visuals and like lots of movement and stuff, and then the film was just so much penis.
To be fair, the penis that was around the guy's neck was moving.
Nummy.
Oh god. I'm kind of glad Alan isn't here for me to say way too much penis.
I'll try to think back in the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk. I don't remember the trailers being too overwhelming, but I remember watching the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk and really enjoying it. So I think that would be an example of a movie that was better than the trailers. Trying to think of what else.
Would you say that Marvel trailers and Marvel movies are the same in sort of the way?
Yeah. I'd say
They're
in
pretty good.
most cases they're usually pretty spot on, like accurately describing the movie.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy was really well done. Entertaining trailer, entertaining film, captured the kind of atmosphere that you're going for, didn't give away too much of the plot. Like that is like a really great trailer. Like it didn't give away the best jokes, didn't give away we're now standing in a circle like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
But it was still incredibly entertaining and made you want to watch the movie, which is why I watched the movie.
I think with Guardians of the Galaxy, their promotion was quite unique, in fact, in the way that they, at least from my perspective, from what I've seen, they didn't do too much of it, but what they did was very effective.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They
did about 4 trailers. They did 4 trailers and 1 teaser trailer. I could be wrong on that, but they didn't release clips. They didn't do too much behind the scenes stuff, which I'm finding Lord of the Rings, well, The Hobbit, and Star Wars are maybe like they're teasing in a really good way, but also sort of like you're giving away some of the good bits.
Yeah. One film that I think had way too much promotion and all that was Anchorman 2.
I haven't seen that one.
They were all over all the... No, even if you didn't see the movie, the amount of promotion that film had was ridiculous. They had like Ron Burgundy on Tango and Fanta, bottles of juice, and all over like train tickets and trains and all that. Just really, they put Ron Burgundy's face where Ron Burgundy's face really shouldn't be.
Yeah, because I think they announced that. I think they really announced Anchorman 2. Yeah, I think they announced Anchorman 2 on Conan, where Will Ferrell actually showed up as Ron Burgundy. You know, and that's how they kind of announced that they were doing the film.
Yeah, I think the film kind of did better during promotion than it did in the cinema. Didn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. It was definitely one of the big flops of the year, wasn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, well.
Yep. And we lost Alan too.
Oh dear, we lost him again. Let's move on to the next of his questions. His next question was pet peeves in movie trailers. So I definitely have a couple, which is the best jokes being spoiled.
I mean, myself.
You have a really.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I
actually have a very specific rant, especially with regards to trailers spoiling things in movies and sometimes giving too much information about a movie or ruining a big moment. especially recently, I've been telling you, Jenny, that I'm getting hooked into Doctor Who recently, and now
Yeah.
up to season 4. In the first season of Doctor Who, there's one episode where it has a surprise villain, but the trailer in between the TV shows, actually shows that surprise villain, and who doesn't actually show
Yes,
up
the
until
next
the
time
end.
on.
And it's like, it pissed me off because it's like. Uh, Through most of the episode, you don't realize it's the Daleks up until the end when they show up, and it's like you put that into the trailer. But I mean, it's like that's one of my biggest pet peeves in regards to trailers.
Yeah. Well, next time on trailers are really interesting because because the episode's obviously shorter. There's a lot less content to take from the next episode. So you really, and you have to get people to come back every single week. It isn't just a one-time watch. So I think they have to put in a lot more interesting thought into TV trailers, because they have to give the information about the episode and get people back every single week, rather than movie trailers where it's not, usually I think TV trailers are usually under a minute, while
Something
movie
like that.
trailers have, they have an entire marketing budget. So they have, 3 to 5 minutes, and then they do multiple trailers, and they do teaser trailers, and they do clip trailers, and then it's just trying to get people in for one view. So I think it's a very different aim that TV trailers have, and but it is still the same feeling like, oh no, you've spoiled me for something that doesn't happen at the end of the episode.
Exactly.
I really, though I find it really annoying for the first episode of Doctor Who. They usually have a during this season trailer. I don't know whether or not you've been seeing those. Where they have clips from usually at the end of the first episode of Doctor Who, or at the end of the Christmas special.
Oh, okay.
They
The
tend to have,
recap.
yeah, they tend to have a during this season or coming up on Doctor Who, where they show clips from multiple episodes, which is both really cool, but also like this season has Cybermen and Dialects and Weeping Angels. Like, how am I gonna cope? No.
Right. Yeah.
Would you say, I don't know, I kind of got kicked out at one point, but when I was gone, did you say that you are more maybe affected by spoilers in a TV show trailer or a movie trailer? Do you think?
Dominic was using the example of being spoiled while watching Doctor Who for future episodes.
Right.
As a pet peeve, so when you get spoiled in trailers for content that doesn't happen until the last arc of a film or till the end of an episode.
Cool. So what would you say then? Would you say you act more, if you react more to a spoiler within about a TV show within a trailer, or would you say you react more severely to a movie?
I think it also. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. I'll let you go in a sec. I'll be really quick. For me, it depends on my investment in the franchise. So if it's an individual movie and I don't know what's going to happen in it, and it shows me a clip which doesn't happen to the end of the film, then if I'm aware of exactly what the story is, so if I've read the book and I'm expecting the movie, and then it shows a clip from the end of the book, and I'm like, no, which is annoying. So that annoys me. But if it's a film that I don't have any expectations of, and that shows me a clip that has no context, then I don't mind it so much until I've watched the film, and then I'm like, oh, well, you kind of spoiled me for that moment or that character. But for TV, it's slightly different in that it's different. It's really hard to explain. Yeah, but it's kind of, yeah, it's a very different feeling. Like, I feel annoyed that I'm getting spoiled, but for more often with TV series, if I'm watching right to the end of the trailers for the next episode, I have a really big investment in it because I've got a lot more. I've spent a lot more time with the characters, so I have a more long-running investment with the story. So if I'm spoiled for the end of the next episode or the end of the season, then that hits me harder more often than not than a spoiler for a film that I have no investment in. And on to Dominic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I think it also depends on the movie itself. Like, let's say the Star Wars prequels, the third movie. I don't think anyone's really gonna care if Darth Vader in full suit is gonna show up in the trailer, since that's basically what that whole situation is. You know that's what's gonna happen. I think it's more that surprise factor. If they show something in a trailer that's more toward the end of the movie, like a big moment, and then show something like that happens a lot earlier in the movie afterwards, it kind of messes with you in terms of if the way they organize the trailers.
Is that the difference between a trailer and a tease, though? I mean, trailers try to hype up to make you watch it, whilst if it's a series or a sequence of films, I would be slightly more excited if there's something that you didn't expect to see teased in the trailer or in a TV episode coming next. Like in say Sons of Anarchy, for example, if I got to the end of the episode and someone's in the next episode that I never expected to see for another ever, that makes me want to watch it, even though in theory that spoilt that surprise.
That is one of the reasons why, like, in anime, like, some of the... I think the best example I can think of is Full Metal Alchemist. I don't know whether or not you watched that, Baxon?
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, I watched both. Yeah.
Because it's such an enormous world and you have so many characters, I'm so glad in a way that there was no next time on trailers, because when characters come back in that you've almost entirely forgotten but are totally awesome, and they like come in and they're like, actually, I'm just a housewife, and then they kick ass.
Right.
Like, that is amazing. Like, being spoiler free for those characters coming back, that is fantastic. And I do like that, and I would be genuinely disappointed if at the end of an episode it'll be like, next time on, this character's coming back. I'd be like, no, you just spoiled that like hero's moment. Like if in Buffy, have we all watched Buffy?
Yeah.
I have, no.
In Buffy, when Willow goes evil, spoiler alert for people who are watching who haven't seen Buffy, spoiler alert, when Buffy goes evil, if there'd been a next time on trailer that had featured Giles coming back, I would have not, like, that reveal would not have hit nearly as hard. I'd like to test that theory is one of the best lines in TV history, and if they'd spoiled that, I would have been genuinely upset.
But in that case, would you have preferred a shot of at least Giles's body, or a shot of Giles without that line, or
I would have liked
flashback to a chat? You know, like they do, they kind of recap right at the start on some American shows. You know,
see, that would be one of my pet peeves for Game of Thrones, because Game of Thrones, when I'm watching series, I did actually watch season 3 before reading up to that point in the books, and in order to keep track of the characters, they have a previously on clip, and you can predict who is going to turn up and what they're going to do, judged from that previously on clip. I think recently we had an episode where Arya finally gets her hero's moment, and she gets to skewer the guy who took Needle in the first place. And at the beginning of that episode, it starts with a previously on, this guy stole Needle, and you've forgotten about it, but it's an important plot point, and he killed some people, and it made Arya upset. And then you're like, oh, well, this is the episode where Arya's going to get her revenge.
Yeah, I think that's
because it's an American show edited for Americans, and I apologise for the next sentence, but they assume that Americans are thick as shit and can't follow a plot line.
Well, I would say that.
Well, I don't think it's the thick part. I think it's the lowest common denominator, and that's pretty international. Because again, you're looking to, not everybody who watches Game of Thrones gets as as deep into it. So
I
I
guess
can forgive that a little bit
series
because they have to bring those people along. The people who aren't in depth to it, who haven't been following, who can't remember all that stuff. You kind of have to give them that little helping hand to say, look, this guy's going to show up again, and this is why he's important. Yeah, it spoils it a little bit for the rest of us, but I can forgive that just a little bit.
Yeah.
We don't tend to get
I
that
can
on
forgive it, but
shows, though. I mean, Doctor Who doesn't do a previously on. I don't remember them doing it on Merlin or Robin Hood or any BBC show. But I have seen it on Sons of Anarchy, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So maybe it's a specific network, or maybe it's a specific type of. I don't know, but yeah, it's not a rogue thing. We don't get it on EastEnders, for example.
Yeah, I think just in general, I think sometimes trailers for movies and TVs sometimes give too much information, and I know they want to get the people in to watch the 90-minute, 2-hour movie, but if you give the big moments in the trailer, then that kind of devalues those moments to me personally, and like I was saying before, comedies are especially guilty of that, where they put the funniest moments of the comedies in the movie, and the rest of it's crap. And it's like, I remember that feeling for what was it? Wedding? Was it the one where the couples go to the retreat and couples retreat, or I think it was like Seth Rogen.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall, right?
I think it was couples retreat or something like that. And like the trailer had like the key funny moments, like with what's his name playing the guitar for the rock band, and a few other really funny moments. But the rest of it
and
was
yet again, I have to reference Your Highness.
Yeah.
So much cock in that film. Like the trailer was funny.
Nothing really.
Mm.
That could have been rephrased, even for me. That was appalling.
And I'm going red, so I'm going to disappear for a moment behind this duvet.
Alan, she's drunk. Leave her alone. Anyway, my thoughts on it. Yeah, oh shit, I forgot my thoughts on it.
I think Ted was very much of a spoiler trailer. Because everyone was like, yes, McFarlane's actually getting a film. It's great, but yeah, he pretty much, for most people that aren't like Family Guy fans, if that's your first introduction to Seth MacFarlane, then yeah, that was the lowest common denominator. There's fart jokes, there's sex jokes, and 90% of them are in the trailer, and the rest of it's fan service, because there's Mila Kunis. There's 2 reasons she's in that. 1, Meg. 2, Mila Kunis. That's the only 2 reasons she's in that film. And then throughout the film you get the odd Brian voice, the odd Peter voice. And it's pretty much a live-action version of Family Guy, just without animation. But if you're a Family Guy fan, or in that niche, then you didn't care that the spoiler gave it away.
I guess
buy the trailer.
I guess in the same vein, that's like Megan Fox dominating the Transformer trailers, being fan servicey.
Yeah, explosion.
Yeah. I'm impressed that
tits. That's the demographic for Michael Bay films.
Oh, I remembered my thoughts.
Wow, impressive.
I know, I didn't think I'd ever be able to do it, but I did. Thank you, Jenny. I've just been insulted by Jenny.
I'm sorry.
The reason why I think they do the whole previously on thing so much and in so much detail, I think, is because there are so many such immersive shows out there with so much information that everyone's constantly being thrown at them, that without those previously on things, you wouldn't be able to keep track of anything, you know. So I think that it's not necessarily for the dumbest of people, it's for those also who just watch too many damn shows to keep up with everything.
Yeah, I think the other part of that, though, is trying to bring in new audience. I mean, we live in it, with especially with shows that are serialized, like Game of Thrones, whatever. They're trying to bring people in, and if you haven't been watching the show, then you're going to be completely lost. So I think a lot of those, previously on is, hey, look, if you haven't seen the show before, don't worry. This is what you need to know. Now have at it. So again, it's just a way of introducing people and getting new audience in, so you don't have to rely on people who've been watching forever.
Yeah.
That and the fact that I'm TV-wise, I'm a massive binge watcher. So it's not hard for me to remember what I watched 3 hours ago, because that was 2 episodes before me. Subject to like flicking through, and I don't. So yeah, Sons of Anarchy I did in, I don't know, a week and a half. Breaking Bad I did in 11 days. It's just, but yeah, some people do the whole week-to-week thing, or they may pick up a DVD, watch the DVD, and then watch it a week, 2, 3 weeks later, and that is their refresher, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe getting a little bit less prevalent now, maybe, or less needed now that you brought that up. Less needed now because most of TV watching culture is binge watching. That's mostly thanks to Netflix. And yeah, it is a good question.
More socially acceptable.
Well, yeah, I don't know if it's most now, but binge watching is actually, since Netflix and what have you, it's a newer culture. But I think, again, most of TV is still a weekly serial. All the networks, the major cable networks, they all do a week-to-week show. So it's going to be a mixture of both worlds, I think, from here on out.
I also think that does make a big difference if you're watching a show week-to-week versus binging through it. I noticed, I've been getting little, not spoilers, but warnings in regards to the end of season 3 of Doctor Who, that it was supposed to be really heart-wrenching, and it did make me choke back a tear. But I've heard there were people crying at the end of it, and I think if I had that
bawled like a baby at the end of season 2. I literally did the whole sobbing.
And I think if I had that week-to-week experience, I probably would have been more choked up about it. And whereas binging through it, you kind of know what's going on, and it's not as the time isn't there that's developing, making you want that episode to hurry up and come here.
Well, I tend to find that I deliberately choose binging over serial when it comes to The Walking Dead, which for anyone I won't spoil, but that's a depressing, pointless end to fucking 12 episodes, you cunts. So I deliberately, they're released, we get them on at some obscure channel in the UK. I deliberately waited 6 weeks before I started watching them, and then I could watch them back to back for a bit. I did that with the Game of Thrones. I've got a friend who shows up in the odd occasional video of mine, mainly being a dick, or in my spoilers, or that kind of. But see, we have an agreement that we would watch weekly, but sometimes it didn't happen, so I'd save them. And when you get to an end of an episode, you've got the cliffhanger, and then you've got the first for the next episode. You can do it, and yeah, now it ruins. I can't wait week to week. I now get to the end of a series, and Homeland 3. If anyone's seen that as well, right? at the point that that series ended, that's it. I now know I have to wait 6 to 8 months, and I'm dead inside. It's just it's the one cliffhanger I've had to deal with, in theory, because I had control over the others. It's like, but
I've just noticed how long we've been going on for, so I'd like to just start to wrap up now by asking one final question. If Movie Club had a really ideal high production value trailer, how do you think that would go? Who would direct it? Who would star in it? How would it go?
In theory, I would vote for Michael Bay just because it would be awesome. But then again, that would probably involve quite a lot of us female movie clubbers having close-up shots from between the chin and the waist. So maybe not. Maybe Edgar Wright, because he's just fabulous in everything he does. So if he's able to direct his trailers, it's kind of 50-50. On some of his trailers are fabulous, and some of them are kind of yeah. Like his trailers for Scott Pilgrim were yeah, but the film was fabulous. So kind of 50-50 with Edgar Wright. I don't really know about when it comes to trailer direction. If we get the guy who could do Your Highness / the guy who did, I think, of really good trailers, Clash of the Titans. Like, those are two really great trailers for really crappy films. So if we get those two guys in who can do music versus visual, like, cohesion, like, that would be awesome. Like, if we can get some really awesome music. Guardians of the Galaxy did a good trailer with music, and I thought of another one, and then I've just completely gone out the other ear, so I'm less sober than I thought it was. On to the next person with thoughts.
I think, due to the vast quantity of fans, that a Joss Whedon trailer is pretty perfect for Movie Club.
Although the Serenity trailer was new.
Well, yeah, but Serenity was his first attempt at a film, and he's had a few since. It depends if we go down the parody route. I mean, if it is an action version of ourselves, then Michael Bay maybe, just with more push-up bras for me. And but I think we can carry
you voted yourself in rather than me.
My moves. But yeah, I think we could carry a comedy element. I think we've all got a decent sense of humour. I don't think any of us are grumpy old fuckers. You know?
You haven't seen me without chocolate.
And I'm actually curious how Kevin Smith would make a trailer for us. I'd say Kevin Smith doing the trailer and Danny Elfman with the music, and a little bit of Batman theme music in there. And
yes, we should get Baz Luhrmann to do our music. I think Kevin Smith would spoil all our best jokes, though, and people will get into the theatre and be disappointed.
Or we can go down the route of absolutely no dialogue and just Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer do the
yes, just a lot of Hans Zimmer.
Massive scenery, zooming. It's like, here's Scotland, here's Liam, here's England, here's Alan, here's London.
Here's a bookcase, here's Jenny.
Here's a giant picture of iced tea, here's Jenny. You know?
I am shocked and appalled, sir. Shocked and appalled.
How dare it not be rum? You could just be.
How dare it not be hot normal tea? If anyone who is watching is confused, we had a Twitter war over tea recently. Just so you're not coming into this conversation completely blind.
So Long Island iced tea isn't actually tea.
No, it's not.
Damn.
Although at least you're trying.
You also can't use that in a court of law.
Mm.
Chris, do you have any thoughts about how you would want the trailer to go?
Yeah, actually, just spitballing on this one, I think Quentin Tarantino. Because you look at his movies, they always have great trailers, whether it's Kill Bill or Inglourious Bastards, those are always great trailers. And 90% of a Quentin Tarantino movie is people sitting around talking about shit, and if that's not a hallmark of what Movie Club is, then I don't know what is.
I think Chris wins.
Yeah.
I love the idea
I
of
think
just
he
like
has
really
won the
high-
Hangout.
You also get a random cameo from Tarantino popping his head through a window.
And then we all
just
pull out.
up behind my curtains.
Then we all pull out a bunch of knives and start playing the knife game.
And then, of course, right at the end, for no reason, feet.
I like the idea that like extremely good-looking actors. Not to say that no one here is good-looking, because you are. But like you get like Brad Pitts and Jessica Alba's to like be in the trailer to play each of us, and then there's like massive music explosions everywhere, and then it's just us.
Yeah, eventually, after like our 200th Hangout, we're gonna have like the blueprints for the best movie ever for Movie Club. We've got our cast, we've got our director, we've got our trailer, now and we've got our main musician person.
All we need is the funding.
Now we just need to work on our OP and we're good.
I mean, that's what Kickstarter's for. Now we've got it together and in video format. Just put it on Kickstarter and Indiegogo, and away we go.
Yeah. Right.
We'll have to raise a lot of money to hire the actors we want.
No, it's the method of, does this smell of chloroform? Problem solved.
Yeah. With that, we will end the Hangout this week. Well, thank you very much for watching the Hangout. It's been a little bit over the place. Each of us have kind of had internet problems, except for Jenny and Dom, which is good for you guys.
That's because she controls the internet.
That's true. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. I would urge you guys to subscribe to everyone here and subscribe to the channel down below. Everyone, can you just tell everyone what you're doing over your channel one more time, where to find you?
Again, Christopher at Easy Chair Reviews on YouTube and occasionally on Twitter, but that's where you can find me doing movie reviews for Movie Club Strikes Back.
I'm Alan. I'm Mr. Harry Britt. You can find me at YouTube/Mr. Harry Britt, harrybrit.com, Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, Delicious, Digit, and Reddit. I have a sub thingy. And if you don't have enough of me, then stop stalking me and get out of the tree from outside my house.
My name is Baxthorn. Most of my information is in this section over here. I'm also on most forms of social media now. I do have Tumblr, Instagram, and all that fun stuff that I hardly ever use. I talk crap about movies and anime. I put your videos in the playlist for Movie Club Strikes Back. I put gameplay stuff up there. I have recently come into control of a video capture card, so I probably will be putting video up for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and that's about it for me.
I'm Jenny. I am usually more sober, more coherent, I'm going to go with. And I do movie reviews for Movie Club Strikes Back and anime reviews. If I can get my act together tomorrow, I may be having a guest feature on someone else's channel, but we'll see how it goes. And I am basically just doing that. I'm slightly behind with the Movie Club Strikes Back videos, but I will be catching up. I was going to film a review for Wild Wild West for Lieberman. Sepp Lieberman, is that the tagline we're going with?
That's the one I came up with, was Septemberman.
I can't find any. I haven't been able to watch one of his films, but I have watched Wild Wild West, and I was going to film it, and I just ran out of time. So hopefully, if I have sobered up by some point tomorrow, I will get that filmed as well. And yeah, that's basically what I'm doing with my channel. I hope I have come off as mildly intelligent and not entirely slurred, and very relaxed tonight. But there we go.
I think you should do a drunk review, Jenny, just as an anecdote. Just now.
I think I just did. Ting.
My name is Liam. As everyone has just said, Servatorix everywhere on the internet. I will get back to putting videos up this week, maybe, and because now I have my laptop back. So yeah, that's the thing. And thank you very much for watching this. Please do subscribe to all these people down below. They're truly lovely people and deserve a like, a subscribe, and all that kind of sort of stuff. Comment down below what you think the ideal Movie Club Strikes Back trailer would be like. It'd be interesting to hear your thoughts. And stay tuned to next week for more madness. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for watching.